Gas tank swap on a 2005 Nissan Frontier extended cab with a 2004 Nissan Titan 28-gallon gas tank. Obviously, it's also got the engine. And today on YouTube, I'm gonna not show you how to do shit, do it yourself. But I will talk about what I did and things that you can do to do it better. So the stock gas tank was a 21-gallon, I think 21.2 or something like that. And I had a spare Titan sitting, so I'm like, man, I really think I could make it work. A lot of people have shown pictures of it online before, and forgive all the paint, at least it looks good. A lot of people were showing pictures online before. The gas tanks themselves look pretty similar, so I was like, okay, let me give this a shot. So I got them side by side and they looked okay. I pulled the bottom mount off there and then there, and I went to jack up the Titan tank, and the existing cross member, like the factory cross member on the Frontier, I don't know if you can see, part of the old one was right there, and it went directly through the tank, and you couldn't actually jack it up anywhere. You couldn't jack it up as high as you needed to go. So before you could even get the tank jacked up, you have to cut that cross member out. That was my first big hurdle. After I cut the cross member out, it was about right here, so I left half of it hanging off. The charcoal canister was about right here. That started getting in the way. That's moved over there now. The factory hardline, there's a hood that kind of comes over here. This is one of the breather tubes. There's a hood that comes over this, and I just chopped that shit off, and then I ground this smooth over here, and I put some electrical tape around it. It's not really contacting or anything, but it's enough to like bother me, so I just threw a little bit of tape down there. Factory plug into the existing Titan tank. I didn't have to change any of that, honestly. I wasn't really sure what I was going to have to do, but I was willing to kind of go down that road, and I didn't have to mess with it, so pretty excited there. Let's see, whenever I got everything jacked up, I got that moved. There's a lot of different shit that I would have liked to do with this cross member. It took a lot of planning as far as like what I was really able to do given the whole COVID-19 situation. So what I ended up doing was make an emergency run, in quotes, to Lowe's, and I grabbed an L bracket, like the thickest L bracket that I could find, and welded that sucker in. That's all I did. I was gonna add some gussets to it. Like if I had like legit fabrication experience, I thought it would be kind of fun to add like a bar down here and then kind of T or a triangle over here. If I ever get more fabrication experience and if I ever have an issue with this tank, if it ever bends in or something like that, I'll try to go through and redo it. But right now it's not too bad. Yeah, so we'll see. The main issues that I ran across with actually getting this sucker like in and contacting points, there's a couple of them. Right here's one. So that's actually not touching, but this is one of the brake lines. The next one, I don't know if you can see my finger down there, but I have a finger's width on the nut of the leaf pack down there. And then the final point's right here. And this is the actual gas tank line. And that actually rests on the gas tank. You know, I'm hoping that that doesn't cause me issues. I threw a little bit of tape around it just so I can kind of see if it's wearing through next time I pull all this stuff apart. But right now it's not. My line's over here. This is the filler tube, and basically what I did was I chopped the soft line from the Titan and the this is the soft line from the Frontier, this is the soft line from the Titan, and this is part of the hard line from the original Frontier bed. And whenever you go to set the bed on, you're gonna hit somewhere around right in this area. So I had to chop it back pretty far, so now it's up in this area over here. But you really just need to make it kind of like a weird S-curve. It doesn't really contact anywhere over here. You can see there's nothing that would bother it. And this is the breather filler tube, and I just chopped it and added a hose onto it. It's quite a bit too long right now. I haven't actually like form fitted it yet, but that's coming up here shortly. Onto the charcoal canister. There are 2 plugs, one here and then one here, and I just wire loomed them. I don't know if you can see that. I just wire loomed them and extended the wires all through the factory harness. Plugged in just fine. This is more temporary, but this is the breather for it. Then this is the tank breather, I guess, that goes to the charcoal canister. All I did was extend this line here. Then this comes up from the front of the engine bay. I can't tell you exactly what this hose is because I fucking have no idea. But I put it to the charcoal canister. I'm assuming it's to bleed pressure off or something or other. Don't know, don't care. I don't have a check engine light right now. That's all I care about. Onto the bed, I guess. Yeah, I mean, charcoal canister is pretty simple. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to it. Just extend. I don't know if you can see like the inline here with how close the drive shaft is to the tank. But I went and looked at like I've got an Xterra and I have the Titan and I have the Frontier, and I went and looked at all of them and like I saw how close they were. And honestly, this isn't anywhere close. This is about as close as like the Xterra would be, in my opinion. I might be like a tiny bit closer, but we'll see if I have problems. And if I do, I can scoot it over. I just didn't really want to have, I didn't want to have it far enough over to where I actually have anything contacting. But if I have to go that route, I'm willing to. Once I had everything taken apart and I had all the wiring pulled back, I went ahead and painted everything just to kind of help clean it all up. Now onto the bed. And then this I kind of dirty worked real quick just to get the project kind of over with. But I had to cut right here, and I had to cut right here, and then right here, and then right here. And then this is all for that big hump of that Titan tank. And if you look at it directly on, this is the actual front of the bed that'll go right up against the back of your body, and I just made it flush. So you don't actually have to cut into the bed of your truck. So I mean, you know, that I think, in my opinion, actually saves this entire mod. It makes it worth it, because if you had to cut into your bed, it'd kind of suck. I think from here, really all it's left to do is for me to tighten a couple of things down. There's a couple of things that are just a little too loose for me, but I ran out of zip ties, wouldn't you believe it. So I got to get some stuff tightened down, and then we'll take it for a spin, and then I really want to go fill this fucking thing up. That's what I want to go do. So more soon.